Here is a question worth sitting with. If someone spent the last 10 years with access to billions of dollars, thousands of engineers, and complete visibility into your psychological profile, designing a system specifically to override your judgment, redirect your attention, and monetize your emotional responses, would you know? Not in theory, not as a vague suspicion. Would you actually know in the specific, granular, moment-to-moment sense what was happening and how? Most people's honest answer is no. And that gap between the sophistication of the system and the sophistication of your defense against it is what this video is about. Before we talk about what's being done to you, we need to talk about what you came with. Your brain is not a neutral processing machine. It is an evolved system built for a world that no longer exists, a world of small tribes, immediate physical threats, and information scarcity. It has biases, shortcuts, and blind spots that were adaptive 50,000 years ago and are exploitable today. The first vulnerability: you cannot accurately assess yourself. 95% of people rate themselves as more self-aware than average. That is, by definition, statistically impossible. This is a Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you actually know about a domain, the more confident you feel inside it. Peak unearned confidence is where most of us permanently reside. The deeper problem isn't ignorance. It's that your brain runs a continuous self-model, a story about who you are and how well you're thinking. And that model is built from incomplete data, filtered by ego, and updated far slower than reality changes. The more confident you feel, the more likely you are operating on stale firmware. The people who know the most about something are reliably the ones who say, "I don't know most often." Confidence isn't competence. It's a calibration error. And that error is the entry point for everything that follows. The second vulnerability: your self-control is a depletable resource. Willpower is not a character trait. It is a finite cognitive fuel, and modern environments are precision engineered to drain it before you reach anything that matters. By the time you check notifications, scroll the morning feed, and process the ambient digital noise of standard morning, you've already made hundreds of micro decisions. Each one costs. And the self-control you needed for the hard thing later in the day has already been spent on frictionless, consequence-free distractions. You are not undisciplined. You are running a depleted system. The difference matters, because the fix is completely different. The third vulnerability: your body's maintenance system is non-negotiable. University of Pennsylvania research established this with uncomfortable precision. Sleeping 6 hours a night for 2 weeks produces cognitive performance equivalent to 24 hours of total sleep deprivation. The subjects in that study rated themselves as functioning normally. Sleep deprivation impairs the exact faculty responsible for detecting sleep deprivation. The instrument is broken. You cannot trust its readings. Sleep is not a lifestyle variable you optimize around. It is the substrate on which every other cognitive function runs. Hustle culture sold you the idea that sleep is negotiable. It is not. It is the operating requirement. Without it, everything else in this video becomes harder to implement and easier to exploit. The fourth vulnerability: comparison is built into the architecture. Humans evaluate themselves by comparing to others. This is not a weakness. In a small social group with accurate information about your actual peers, it is genuinely useful data. But your reference group is no longer small. It is no longer real. It is a global feed, curated for maximum aspirational impact, algorithmically ranked to surface the most impressive content first, and updated continuously at all hours. You are comparing your internal experience, the doubt, the friction, the 3 a.m. spirals, to the external PR of people actively managing their image. That comparison is not information. It is noise structured to produce inadequacy, and the system runs on that inadequacy. So, for hardware vulnerabilities, built in, present before you picked up a phone, before you open an app, before you read a single headline. Now let's talk about who noticed and what they built. The attention economy is not a metaphor. It is a market structure in which your attention is a commodity, your behavior is the data, and your psychological vulnerabilities are the access points. Every major platform, social media, news, streaming app stores, is optimized for one variable above all others: session time. How long you stay, how often you return, how difficult it is to leave. Everything else is downstream of that single objective. Exploit 1. The algorithm doesn't show you what's popular. It shows you what keeps you. Every scroll, every pause, every rewatch, logged. Your hesitation on a thumbnail, logged. The moment you almost skipped but didn't, especially logged. This is an adaptive control loop. Your behavior teaches the model. The model predicts your next behavior. The longer you engage, the more accurately it maps your psychological profile, your boredom threshold, your outrage trigger, your comfort content, and sequences them in the order most likely to extend your session. You are not the user. You are the training data. The recommendation algorithm does not serve your interests. It serves its own objective function, which is retention. Those two things occasionally overlap. They are not the same thing. Exploit 2. The news feed is a fear machine. People who consume the most news consistently have the most inaccurate picture of the world, overestimating the probability of plane crashes, violent crime, and economic collapse, while underestimating almost everything that is quietly improving. This is not an accident. Fear outperforms hope in click-through rate by a factor of 3. Negativity bias is a hardware feature. We evolved to weight threats above opportunities. Media discovered this long before the internet. Algorithms encoded it at scale. The result: a news feed systematically calibrated to terrify you, not to inform you, because terror keeps you watching. Staying informed is the goal. Staying frightened is the business model. Exploit 3. Social proof is a manufactured signal. Follower counts, star ratings, download badges, 10 million installs. These feel like evidence. They were designed to. Social proof exploits one cognitive shortcut. If others chose this, it is probably correct. This is adaptive in a world where your neighbor's choices are a real signal. It is catastrophically distorted when the reference group is global, the numbers are gameable, and the platform is optimized to manufacture the appearance of momentum before genuine momentum exists. Social proof creates self-reinforcing loops. An early advantage generates visible adoption. Visible adoption generates more adoption. The signal compounds, completely independent of quality. This is why mediocre products dominate markets. The crowd doesn't validate quality. It validates momentum. They are not the same thing. Exploit 4. Infinite choice is not generosity. It is a retention mechanism. Barry Schwartz demonstrated this with jam. 64 varieties produced a 6% purchase rate. 6 varieties produced 30%. More choice does not produce more satisfaction. It produces more paralysis, more browsing, and more regret. Every streaming platform, food delivery app, and content aggregator is designed to offer overwhelming choice, because the overwhelm keeps you on the platform longer while you decide. Your indecision is their revenue event. You are not choosing a movie. You are generating training data while trying to relax. Your paralysis is their profit. Exploit 5. Your outrage is their energy source. Angry content is shared at twice the rate of content that produces happiness. Moral outrage spreads faster than almost any other emotional signal on social platforms. Every major platform's internal research has confirmed this. The feeds are tuned accordingly. Content that makes you furious is not surfaced because it is important. It is not surfaced because it is true. It is surfaced because it keeps you moving, scrolling, sharing, reacting, which keeps the session alive. Your anger is a renewable energy source. The platform is the grid. Every time you share something that makes you furious, you are not raising awareness. You are feeding the machine that made you furious in the first place. 5 exploit mechanisms, each one targeting a different hardware vulnerability. Each one optimized by teams of engineers with full visibility into aggregate human psychology. But we haven't reached the deepest layer yet, because there is a difference between a system that manipulates your behavior and a system that rewrites your identity. Act 3. Behavior modification is one thing. You do something different. You buy something, click something, stay on a platform longer than you intended. Identity modification is something else entirely. It operates at the level of how you see yourself, what you believe about the world, and what you think you are capable of. 3 mechanisms operate at this level, and they are the ones most worth understanding. Mechanism 1. Your beliefs were selected for you. When did you last genuinely change your mind on something important? Not nudged, actually reverse a core belief based on new evidence? For most people, the honest answer is rarely. And yet beliefs update constantly, just not toward accuracy, toward the feed. Researchers call this identity protective cognition. When a belief becomes part of your self-concept, your tribe, your values, your team, your brain treats contradictory evidence as a physical threat. The same neural pathway is activated by danger fire when someone sends you a study that disagrees with you. You don't evaluate the argument. You defend the identity. Platforms know this. They serve content that confirms your existing self-image because agreement generates engagement, and engagement generates revenue. Your convictions are, in part, a product someone optimized. This is not a statement about the content of your beliefs. It is a statement about the process that formed them, and the fact that process has been interfered with. Mechanism 2. Your emotions have been aestheticized and sold back to you. Nostalgia activates reward circuits associated with social belonging and safety. The brain signals. Familiar is safe. Safe is desirable. It does not verify whether the memory is real. Brands discovered this decades ago. The film grain filter. The vinyl crackle. The worn-out font from a grocery store. Receipt you never visited. These are not aesthetics. They are emotional bypass mechanisms, manufactured to feel like memory, and designed to produce desire without triggering critical evaluation. You are not remembering. You are consuming a curated emotion that bypasses your critical filter and moves you directly to a purchase decision or platform engagement. The feeling is real. The object producing it is a product. Those are completely different things. Mechanism 3. Productivity itself has been performance captured. Pseudo-productivity is the performance of effort without the production of output, and it is remarkably satisfying. Reorganizing the to-do list, clearing the inbox before the hard task, opening 5 research tabs before writing a single sentence. Your brain rewards effort signal, not result signal. Checking something off feels almost as good as completing something meaningful. Managing the system feels almost as good as producing inside it. In a digital environment, where no one can see whether you are thinking or scrolling, the performance of busyness becomes a default optimization target. You are not lazy. You are running the wrong metric. The busiest person in the room is not the most effective person in the room. Not even close. That is a complete map. 4 hardware vulnerabilities, 5 external exploits, 3 identity level rewrites, 12 mechanisms, operating simultaneously, against the same target. You. Now, a word about what to do with all of this. Because the point of Substratum is not to make you paranoid. Paranoia is just another high arousal negative emotion, and you now know exactly what happens to those. The point is precision, knowing exactly where the system is applying pressure, so you can decide deliberately how to respond. Here is the framework, condensed. On the hardware side, fault test your own confidence. Before any significant decision, ask, what would I need to see to change my mind? If the answer is nothing, that's not a belief. That's a blind spot with a flag on it. Redesign your environment before you try to redesign your willpower. Remove the apps. Use grayscale. Build no phone windows into your morning. Systems design beats willpower every single time. Protect the substrate. 7 to 9 hours is not a preference. It is the operating requirement on which every other cognitive function depends. Benchmark yourself against yourself. 12 months ago, what did you know? What could you do? That is the only data point that is not distorted by an algorithm. Run your own race on your timeline against your own record. On the software side, intentionality before input, before opening any feed, Decide what you came for. Set a time limit. Leave when it goes off. Systems without exit conditions run forever. You need an exit condition. A media diet, not a media fast. 30 minutes, not 30 tabs. Prioritize data over narrative. Ask monthly, is my model of the world more accurate or just more anxious? Evaluate the thing, not its metrics. What would I think of this if the number weren't there? Independent assessment is slower. It is also accurate. Constrain before choosing. Pick the category. Take the top result. Move. In a world of infinite choice, constraint is leverage. Before sharing anything, ask, who benefits from my reaction to this? If the answer is a platform, pause. On the identity side, separate your identity from your conclusions. You are not your opinions. You are the process that generated them, and that process can be upgraded. Ask not, am I right, but what would make me wrong? If you cannot answer that, the belief is not yours. When something produces a warm, familiar, safe feeling, ask, is this actually good, or does it just feel safe? Feeling and quality are different variables. The past wasn't better. It was simpler, and someone edited complexity out. Measure output, not effort. One primary deliverable per day. Not a list, one. Everything else is secondary until that one thing is done. Ship the thing. The effort is not the point. That is a complete counter system. Not complicated. Not requiring any particular technology or significant investment of time. Just accurate about what the system is doing and deliberate about responding to it. The title of this video is The Operating System You Didn't Consent to. The reason it's called that is simple. Every system described here, the algorithm, the attention economy, the fear machine, the social proof loop, the identity exploit, was installed without your agreement, without your full understanding, and without any disclosure of how it actually works. You are running software you did not choose, on hardware you were born with, in an environment specifically engineered to make both as difficult to examine as possible. Substratum exists for one reason, to make the examination easier. If you're going to spend the next hour on this platform, and statistically, you probably are, you might as well spend some of that time understanding the platform itself. This is Substratum, the system underneath the system. Run it yourself.